We are live. Emma, you should be able to join us as a host, Emma. We can see you are there as a guest, but you really are one of the hosts on this one. And I hope you got the link, Emma. Also, uh, also write in the chat.
Now that Juan joined, I think we should just stop the call and
Stop the call.
yeah.
What?
He's going to steal our ideas, you know.
Well, let's see if we have any good ones.
We have opinions, ideas. It's different. Okay.
Yeah. Emma, I think you need to log off and then somehow follow the link that I sent you to join as a host. While we wait for you, maybe I should set the stage a little bit. We wanted to discuss something today. And should we just go ahead and do that without Emma? I think we should. We're losing time, and I hope you can figure it out, Emma. You're most welcome to join the debate. But anyway, you brought it up, JGP, and I answered that I answered my opinion, but and then I think we should take it out live. This concept of uh, of um, of a context graph. You wanted to discuss it, and why don't you kick it off then, JGP? With oh, there we have Emma. Hi, Emma.
Classic. Happy New Year, boss.
Happy New Year.
Boys, yeah, I don't know what happened. Like I got the wrong link somehow, but here I am.
Yeah, but here you are. Perfect. Happy New Year. And so let me set the stage a little bit. JGP, you wanted to discuss context graphs. It's been circulating for a little while. I also have an opinion about it. Emma thought that it would be an interesting conversation. So here we go, live from pretty much all over the world. Our opinion about context graphs. But maybe you start, JGP. You brought up something.
So I read the article. I read it twice, and so I I'm not an avid reader. So when I read something twice, it triggers me. Okay, and I read a lot of the comments around that. Even the sarcastic one from Juan, and but so basically the promise is to say that data is not enough to do AI. You also need to have context. Okay, so and the way to organize context is via a graph of business decisions. That's a premise of the article. So I'm. So I don't. First, the thing is, okay, it uses all the buzzwords. Okay, so context. Okay, everybody's talking about context. Everybody's talking about the graphs, like they are back in favor of everything. So let's combine everything. Okay, and I think we should also maybe call it like a context mesh, just to to just add to the simplification of it. But anyway. It's an interesting idea, but I think trying to put it as a graph is going to be really complicated. Where I think a lot of one thing we try to do, and it's still on our roadmap with Bitol and ODCS, is to be able to map business rules in the data contract. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know if the data contract is a place for the business rule. That's why we kind of stayed a little bit shy of it so far. But I really believe that we need to be able to map those. And it's not a new concept. Okay, business rules have been mapped since forever, and I've got friends who worked at iLog, who work now at IBM. I mean, it's been there. Now are we trying to make something new out of something old? Are we just trying to put some kind of graph around it just to make it a little bit more sexy? I don't know. I don't know what that's where I stand basically.
So I've also looked into this concept, and yeah, I mean, I think you sum it up pretty nicely, GGP, with what you're saying. Basically, my take is, and I see Matt Mullins writing, "What the hell is a context graph?" So I've also read that article you mentioned. I've read it a couple of times, and for me, if a context graph is anything, it's just a graph. So I can't really see that there technically is something really new in this. It's a discussion about how to apply graph technology on unstructured data across multiple sources, which is an excellent use case for graph technology. That's pretty much how I see it. Now, that idea is not bad as I see it, but I don't think it's like what this concept gives me is that we're inventing some kind of new technology with this use case, and I can't see there's anything technologically new in it. And so that's what makes me a little bit skeptic of the concept of a context graph. The use case is interesting. Whether or not it holds true, I think depends on enterprises' willingness to replace systems of records with a completely greenfield architecture. Given the last 50 years of computer history for enterprise, I'm not sure that will happen. But so that's my take on a context graph. It's not one-to-one with the meta-grid idea, not at all. What I wanted to do with the meta-grid, for example, was to create a more holistic picture of insights of the IT landscape across repositories that document the IC landscape more than, in this case, decisions. And it does not necessarily have to be a graph. And I see some similarities in the way of thinking about what they call a context graph, the authors, in the sense that it's something that wants to capture knowledge from multiple sources. I'm a little bit in doubt whether or not that actually needs to materialize as a graph. Why should it? I mean, could it just be documentation? Wouldn't that be better? I mean, that would be easier to consult. What's the need for a graph in that context? Yeah, an apology. That was no pun intended. But what's the need of a graph in that context? Anyway, that's what I've been thinking. Matt, since you wrote a question, please chip in the chat if you feel it's any different for you, or Juan also, since you're there. Juan, I don't know if you're still on, but I'd love to hear your opinion also. I mean, I don't know if you've had a chance to stumble into this concept, and it kind of appeared, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, and I've been looking into it because, anyway, it was Christmas. I was a little bored. But that's my take on this graph, context graph concept. It's I think there's some sincere ambition behind it. I'm not sure the concept is all that solid. But that's also always me. I'm always skeptic of new concepts. Maybe history will prove me wrong.
So I thought this was going to be a raging debate, that you two would take opposing sides on it, but you're both unconvinced, right? There's some novelty in the idea and the application, but not really convinced that there's something there yet. And I guess also curious to see how it plays out, right? So you're not discounting it; you just are not yet convinced.
One thing, yeah, I think. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but one thing that I'm very certain about is the article. Maybe we should can we
slide the link?
provide a link to this picture. Like, I think everyone that's on the call
Yep.
follow.
Here's the link.
They have the link?
I share it, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, JGP. So I think one mistake in the article, and I normally don't talk about people making mistakes because I'm so Scandinavian, but one mistake in the article, I think, is to divide what's the future of agentic architecture, saying that there are no system of record native agents in the future. They will always they will move out of that platform and be something different. It will be a mix. I am 100% certain it will be a mix. I don't think you can take agents out of the equation in any. I hate to use the word context right now, but I don't think in any type of technological constellation.
I think you're right. I'm not saying they're wrong or not. The thing is, I'm French. I'm very respectful of other people's opinion. Okay, that
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay, but the thing is, I think it comes to a lot of people trying to define what AI ready data is. Okay, and I've been trying to get a sense. Okay, we're going to be at Data Day Texas in a short while, and I'm animating on the Sunday a discussion around that, and I'm trying to not make myself an opinion, but have enough questions to trigger the people. So I think we need context. We need the context. Okay, you've got the data and you've got the context. Then that's what is the base for, I think, AI ready data. But the context is it a graph, or is it a flat file, or is it an open standard by Beetle or whatever? There's something to be done there. I don't think what they propose is a solution. It might be an element of the solution, but I don't think it is. And I also don't think that the semantic layer is the solution. Something in between.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think the article also mentions this word truth, and that also always makes me trigger. When people write about truth, I'm always like, what kind of truth, sir? And in this case, the truth about decisions cannot reside in the systems of records, but only across them, which is something that I don't necessarily disagree in, but it's just I'm a skeptic of every single system claiming to contain the entire truth. I'm a deep skeptic of that. Like, basically, I'm a deep skeptic of a lot of things. But anyway, so for me, the context graph is I think I do it, but what I do agree in, like, and I think you're onto something there, JTP, is that the discussion about context has been that's not a bad thing. Like, we should discuss that more. We should focus more on context. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think the idea of promoting it as a graph is something where I become a little skeptic, because it gives me the impression that here is a technological evolution, something technologically new, a new technological new type of or new technology category, or whatever you want to call it. And I don't see that in the context graph concept, really. I see a lot of interesting observations, some of them in which I agree, but also some bold claims that are not, like, I've been in enterprise technology for all of my career, and I don't believe in greenfield architectures. It's not that I don't admire them, and I know we can learn from them a lot, but
Not reality, I think. Yeah.
it's not reality. And I see this article leaning heavy towards the argument that, well, you can just replace like uh, a 2-digit million system of record or $3-digit million system of record in some company with something else. That's like a little difficult. I've tried to do that. So basically, yes, you can do that. It's not something like the amount of time it will take to replace such a system of record with something else by far exceeds the hype cycle around the current generation of agents by far. So you need to have a long-term plan of what does that architecture look not 1-2 years from now, but 5-10 years from now. Unfortunately, I don't like to think of technologies in that time span. I don't think we should too much, but in an enterprise context, that is really the time horizon on these things. Anyway, I'm just ranting away. I mean, I wasn't meant to. I was meaning to.
But I think the positive thing about this article is that it makes us think, okay, and we agree with it or not, or partially, or whatever. The thing is, it starts a discussion, and it's a discussion started, and that's a little bit why I wanted us to discuss this. And as you said, I think I'm a firm believer in brownfield as well. Okay, every greenfield, big bang approach to things are kind of doomed from the get go. Okay, because you don't, and the reason is you don't get value quick enough.
Yeah, exactly. And I also, and this is perhaps somewhat would like call me technologically a bit of a pervert, but I think it's Friday. I can say it, but it's like I think it's really the most interesting problems are also in brownfields. Like you have to like that's what team topologies is all about. That's what like the entire DevOps movement, what they wanted to turn around, like all of that is. Those are the interesting technological questions, I think. Like, it's not that innovation in itself isn't interesting. That's super interesting, of course. But the setting is really interesting. I really like it.
There's things to be said about fundamental research. Okay, so that's completely. I think that's outside of what we're trying to talk here. So I mean, I'm with you, and what I've seen also while we were implementing data mesh and data products in various companies is that people want to clear or clean in a way the past by with a new technology, but it's also out of lacking the respect for the work of the people that did it before. Okay, so it's not it's if you're taking a data set, for example, and you're turning it into a data product, it's a first step, it's a quick win. It's you can have better quality data, you can answer context on it, and then you can evolve it because you're thinking as a product now. Okay, versus I'm going to start from scratch. Okay, redesigning all the pipelines, redesigning the new storage, et cetera, et cetera. So there might be some needs for that, but the greenfield approach, you want the additional. I think that the additional value you will get when it's finished is less than what the immediate value you can get by applying modern techniques, not technology, but techniques to an existing asset. Okay, so I'm with you. The greenfield is intellectually stimulating in a way because you live in a bubble, but the brownfield is also stimulating, but you live in brown fields.
Yeah, and and so if we like refocus on the idea of the context graph, I think Matt raises a great point. Like, what kind of graph is this anyway? Like, the article doesn't really specify it, to be honest. Um, it describes basic graph methodology of nodes and edges, but that's pretty much it. And I guess for an article, that's also fair enough. If you want to insert technical documentation, it should be somewhere else. But still, like, what kind of graph is it? And I would be curious to also see that. I think what is interesting from a brownfield perspective is that this article can perhaps make us think about like that we see multiple metadata repositories, or just repositories of decisions, systems of records, if you will, but all kinds of unstructured repositories with text and like emails and Slack and whatever, being pulled into the discussion of how decisions are made in discussion. And I think that is that, like, there's nothing. That's good that we focus more on unstructured data. That's good. But is it a graph? Why should it be a graph? And if it is a graph, is it a new kind of graph, like technologically speaking? I'm very skeptic of that, to be honest.
So just one point on that is, you know, we've all been playing with ChatGPT and Claude and the like. Okay, when you throw documents at them, they don't need to be linked. Okay, I've thrown a lot of my personal collection of document essays I wrote, etc., etc. Okay, it finds a connection. Okay, so I think that's where AI is really good as well. So I don't think you need to fit it that much of a because if you imply a graph, okay, if you got to think about your business rules, put them in a graph and feed it to the AI, I think you just have the business rules on this decision you've been making and you feed it to the AI, okay, and that's probably enough. So that's my take. I wanted to say something about Andres. Okay, so Andres' question is, if companies still struggling to invest in data governance, how do you see the conversation around adopting context graphs evolving? I think companies, when you talk AI, they open their wallet like crazy. They just it's insane in some ways, where you say, oh no, it's not about data governance, it's about AI. Then you've got the money. Okay, maybe I'm simplifying a little bit.
No, I think that's definitely something that like it's always like there's a pro and a con to all the buzzwords trying to use that for getting funding internally. Data mesh certainly wasn't a buzzword that you could use to get funding internally, like CIOs and upwards. They were just like not happy to see that word in asking for funding for projects and companies. Often, like, you had exceptions, but maybe a context graph could be some kind of excuse to obtain funding. I don't know, but it's a dangerous. Like, it's still. I agree with you that you could do it, but it's like it can backfire a lot, because if it turns out that there's really nothing, like, I think many of the ideas in the article are good. Like, the ideas are good enough. It's just not really a graph, and if it is a graph, I don't know what kind of graph it is. I don't know. Anyway, it's maybe it can at the right moment in time you could obtain some funding, but I do agree that with Andres' question that I think I would be cautious about doing it. But anyway, it's always difficult because it's hard to get funding for governance projects, right?
Yeah, the series of the talks I did last year was really about getting value from governance, okay, and using one case was actually data contracts and showing the value you're getting from data contracts. Okay, so I think it's
I actually have a question for JGP here, like if you can make it, because there's a little bit of shift left in the article, saying that, I can't remember its exact phrasing, but it's something like these systems of records, they don't contain, the agents in those platforms don't contain all the information, and so therefore this context graph, supposedly context graph, could capture those decisions at in the moment. I should have marked it, but they can capture it at the right moment in time, and not something where you need to push it back to the platform so that the agents in those platforms can. Anyway, there's a little bit of a shift left thinking in this.
Yeah, I'm also very careful about shift lefting thing, or shifting thing on users, because they already have a lot. If you shift left something, you've got to shift right something else, okay, or put something in the trash, okay, because of infinite time. So let's be careful about that. Then we're about time. I'm so excited. We see each other in a couple of weeks.
Likewise.
We'll be doing it live. Yes.
And we're going to do it live. That's kind of fantastic.
No,
And
live. We're doing it in person, right? In real life is what I meant.
it,
Yes, not virtual.
live, yeah. right. Live.
We're live right now.
Yeah.
I'm in Dublin at 14:58. So yeah, just proving that I'm live. I need to run. I'm actually in a jacket because I'm interviewing somebody for the SVP of customer success and customer support role here. So I'm gonna run and interview them, and have a great weekend. And
Yeah, that was Emma.
It's good.
It's a very executive way of living our Substack life, but that is also why she's already.
But by the way, we're hiring a lot. Okay, so look at our website for jobs and careers. There's a very exciting positions that we're opening at Actian. So if you're in the market for a job, or if you want to transition to something exciting, look at our job. So
Absolutely. This was a great idea to take this discussion. Like, I don't feel that we've, like, I think this was just the first step of it. Like, we should continue this discussion next week.
I think we will talk more about that. Maybe not specifically that, but the whole idea of context around data. So, hey, so what's your Lego thing of the week? Or so
my Lego thing of the week?
Yeah.
It must be like this big, I don't know the name of it, but my son built a big Technics Lego thing.
Okay.
He's way too young for it, but he did it anyway. I'm super proud of him.
Yeah, no, I know your son is pretty young. That's amazing, the technique things. Yeah. So I don't know if you've seen the CES announcement for the smart brick. That's something. I'm curious about it. It's a little bit like the context graph. I'm still warm up to that. Yeah. But you
know, JGP, I'm from Denmark. We are losing so much at the moment. I think you owe me a smart brick victory, right?
But the other thing is that I moved to Philly not too long ago, around Philadelphia, and this is a statue we have in Philadelphia. Okay, so I have not made it because I have not seen the statue yet. So I'm going to Philadelphia soon, and I will make the statue, and I think we all need a lot more of that. Especially,
yeah.
Okay. So.
Thank you.
So all have a fantastic weekend, and I'm so excited to see you to see you soon in Austin. So
likewise, take care, my friend.
Bye.
Bye.